Now, the worldwide COVID-19 pandemic has brought many businesses to their knees, as some have been brought to a premature death. Tonight, we have a discussion with former Bafana Bafana midfielder Reneilwe Letsholonyane, who has ventured into business, about how the pandemic has affected him in his role as a businessman, as he has had to dig deep in order to keep some of his young businesses afloat in these trying times. Good evening, Reneilwe, and welcome to Sport on the 4View.
Good evening, Visi. How are you?
I'm well, thank you so much. Okay, so let's start here. The last 5 months have been an emotional roller coaster. First, the South African football season was brought to a grinding halt, and this coincided with some businesses also being brought to a grinding halt. Surely this must have been a very difficult and trying time for you, where your faith was tested.
Yeah, it was a very difficult period for all of us in South Africa. As we know that the pandemic affected all of us, and yes, it has tested the faith, and I think I'm a better person than I was 5 months ago because of this pandemic. And yeah, we still soldier on, and then still fighting this situation, and then hoping that it will come to an end very soon.
Now, obviously, as a businessman, the downside is that a challenge like this doesn't only affect you, but it also affects your employees, who look to that income to survive and maintain their livelihoods together with that of their families. Now, tell us how this experience has been for you, because we've seen so many businesses having to lay off employees in order to prevent the business from bleeding.
Sure. Very difficult. Obviously, you employed people and they are making ends meet from that from working for us, and then we couldn't obviously pay their salaries for the past 5 months because we've been closed, and then yeah, it has been difficult for us and then our employees. It is what it is. It's a pandemic. It's not anyone's fault. It is the situation that we're facing, so we should just keep doing the right things so that everything settles sooner than later.
Yeah, so now life post-COVID, obviously for businesses, will not be the same as what it was pre-COVID. What conversations or actions have you put in place to ensure that when the economy restarts again, you're not left behind as a businessman? It
is going to take us time to get back to normal. Yes, we want, or rather we trying to get back to on our feet, and then we busy talking, obviously cleaning the place now, and on how our employees will come back to work in a safe environment.
Okay, I want us to now shift our conversation a little. As a professional footballer, even just professional sportsmen altogether, are generally told that you need to prepare for life after the sport. What do you wish could have happened differently in your particular career? Because so many times we tell sportsmen, prepare for life, but no one actually has sit down proper conversations where the financial aspect of football and life after football is discussed.
Sure. Playing-wise, I think everything went the way it was supposed to be, and I don't have any regret as a footballer. In terms of that conversation that people always said, we must invest, but there was not really that person that will tell us how to invest and where exactly to invest. I feel what had we or it can still happen now that as footballers, we have that person that will guide us or give us the direction on proper investment, and then where you know what to, definitely what to post your playing days. You still have something that will take care of you for the next 5 years up until you think of something else.
And so in that light, what advice would you give to especially the young up-and-coming sportsmen and sportswomen in terms of just looking after themselves financially and not living in this moment and only focusing on the here and the now and think long-term?
Sure. It's difficult, obviously, to at the moment. It is easier said than done to say you must save, but we come from different backgrounds where when footballers turn professional, they automatically become breadwinners. And then there's a perception that footballers earn a whole lot of money, but that's not true. And sometimes, or rather most of the times, we find ourselves earning salaries, but because you are a breadwinner, because you support so many people from whatever that you get, it is difficult to save. But in me saying that, I think we should try as footballers to create that culture of saving a bit, even if it means you save that 200 rand. In a year, you'll have 1,200 or 2,200, somewhere there, and then it will make a difference in your life.
Yeah. Okay. Now, just looking at that question there, how did you get into business, and what influenced you to want to get into business? And tell us more about your actual current businesses.
I got into business mainly because with my business partner at our lunch in Dobsonville, Ushaba, we were always in camp, and then we were roommates, and we always spoke about what we want to do, so that we can sort of break the chain of what has been happening with footballers. Our footballers post their playing days after 3 or 4 years. They struggle. So that's a conversation we used to have, which we must start doing something so that we help others as well. They must think of investing their money properly. And then we opened up a lounge with Ushaba at Dobsonville. That is it is 2 years now, but obviously with the pandemic now, we've been closed for 5-6 months now, and it has been not an easy journey, but we soldier on.
Okay, now Reneilwe, just as we wrap up with you, tell us more about your current life in terms of football. How are things going for you at your team, Highlands Park, and what else can we still look forward to from you?
Everything is going well. We are very motivated after our first game with Mamelodi Sundowns. We've been preparing for tomorrow's game against Chippa United at 3:30. So in terms of me, what you can expect, obviously, going forward is I will still play, hoping for another few seasons, if my body still allows, and then take it from there.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Reneilwe. Have a good evening further.
Thanks for having me. Good evening to you too.
Reneilwe Letsholonyane there, Highlands Park midfielder and former Bafana Bafana midfielder, just talking to us about life and business as a footballer.